Hey, what's up everybody? This is Osaberg501 and today I want to go over the most recent patch for Marvel's Avengers 1.3.3. Now this patch does have some new content. The new content isn't in with the patch today, which is the 14th. Every other thing that we're going over is out today, but on the 15th is when we'll get the new content, so you have to wait for tomorrow for that. So some of the highlights: remote faction terminals have been added to the outpost. So what these are, instead of having to go to the NPC that gives you each of these separate factions weekly or daily objectives, you now just have to go to a terminal. They still have the two NPCs that you could go to if you want, but there's now terminals for Shield and Inhumans in both the outposts. You can just go to those and pick up your objectives. Extended pickup radius for reward drops. So it's pretty much any of the rewards. I think this also is for the orbs. So say your heroic orbs that give you some of your cooldown back. I'm pretty sure it's for all of that stuff as well. I'm not 100% certain. You can now pick up rewards from farther away, which is really nice. I assume this should work for the random resources that killing enemies drops as well. The ability to preview cosmetic vendor items. So if you're at the vendor, it will now let you just press a button to preview it instead of it not allowing that, and you would just have to go to the overall skins to see them. Ability to scale subtitle and closed caption text size. Closed caption will no longer be automatically displayed in cinematics when subtitles are displayed. Movement speed increase in outposts when in Avengers initiative. So that is after the campaign, you can now sprint in both the outposts. You can move as fast as you normally can. I don't think you can fly. AI companion improvements, including assistance when players need revive. Improved Mega Hive rewards. They are now guaranteed to give 2 exclusive exotic gear items and an increased amount of upgrade modules upon completion. The Mega Hives now guarantee 2 exotics. Now this is out today as well. Like I said, it's only the content that's not out today. So if you go on the Mega Hive, it actually shows at the objective part of the Mega Hive that will give you an exotic reward instead of just showing a legendary and having a chance for exotics, which is super nice, and 2 of them is pretty massive. So every week on one character you can get 2 guaranteed exotics and more upgrade modules. So for the new content, we have a Shield Substation 0 outpost. Shield has opened Substation 0 to investigate new temporal anomalies that have begun forming across the world, a space that offers new narrative, characters, and content. You can find it Shield Substation 0 in the Pacific Northwest on the war table. So this is a new outpost. This is also going to be where we, I guess, get more of the main story beats, and this is where we're going to have the most upcoming DLC characters start at. So both the Hawkeyes, it's going to be starting from here, and I'm assuming whatever their characters are tied to this. I'm assuming that we will also be getting new outposts at some point that go along with what other characters are tied to them. So most likely we'll get like a Wakanda with an outpost that would be characters that are more tied to that would start there. Then we have Tachyon Rift missions. You'll investigate the temporal anomalies by taking on the new Tachyon Rift missions, which are the first place players can get cosmetic gear. Cosmetic gear has actually been dropping really rarely from certain missions in the game, which most people did think was not supposed to be happening because it had different perks that were only for these mission types. This is really nice, so we actually have a place to get it more easily now, because cosmic gear and just the cosmic element itself is pretty strong. The Tachyon Storm will damage players over time, charges heroic energy, and increase rate. With the Meridian modifier active, players can pass through temporal anomalies to extend the time you can spend within the Tachyon Rift. A late game offering Tachyon Rift missions require 140 power level or higher superheroes to play. These missions are available once per day and rotate out daily. It's sounding like these things are kind of a timed thing, or that they constantly hurt you. So maybe builds that have much more healing or something like that may be much better for this, but we have to wait and see what these actually are. Again, this new content, both of these come out on the 15th. I just want to go over a few other things. Companions will now help hold an area in Warzone missions during the code verification or validation phase. Note, they still won't activate the small code terminals to prevent them from accidentally messing with your progress. They'll just hold different zones more effectively. Improve companion assistance when players need to be revived. Very nice. They now won't just randomly fly around and not revive you. Increase the chance of successful parry from companions. Now I want to talk about this because there are different perks, different things in the game where if you parry something, you may get a buff, you may do extra damage, you may apply an element to that target. So having your companions parry a lot more could definitely add a lot more power, because you could do builds with them, or different perks may actually work more easily on your companions. Movement speed increase in outposts when in the Avenger initiative, we talked about that. So you can now sprint in both the outposts. The remote faction terminals, we talked about that. So now you don't have to go back and forth to outposts to pick up your objectives. Prevented majority of cases of enemies getting stuck behind doors when doing doing missions, and they're currently trying to work at resolving bugs that trigger this. So that's where, say you were in a hive, you will load into the next part and an enemy would be stuck behind the door, so you couldn't kill it, or you'd have to use some big area of effect to try to kill it. Then players can now preview cosmetic vendors. We went through that, so you can preview the cosmetic items without having to, just go to your overall cosmetics to try to find those. Then we have some combat stuff. Improve Captain America's melee combat flow. I'm assuming this is just supposed to help make it feel much more fluid. You did kind of feel like it was a bit jittery before, and like there were kind of small stops in between different attacks. Refractored the modifier Fisticuffs and Torpedo to only buff the player and not enemies. I'm pretty sure these are increasing like melee and range damage and stuff like that. This will definitely make you a lot stronger in certain missions that have these certain buffs. Tuned heroic drain inflicted by spin drones. This is nice. So this is spin drones would hit you and they would drain a bunch of your power for your heroic abilities. So say if you had the ability and all your abilities were up for use and they would hit you, you would then not be able to use them. That would drain a portion of them. And sometimes I would even notice you would get drained like half of your heroic energy, which is pretty ridiculous. Tune difficulty in alone against aim mission. Tune defensive effects of the blue overshield on enemies. I'm not certain what this is, but I'm assuming that them not being able to be CC'd at all, or maybe the shields itself are less. Tuned cryo adaptoid slam attack. I'm pretty sure this was something that would end up one-shotting people sometimes, because I would never get close to these things because I'm pretty sure their slam attack would just almost one-shot you on most difficulties, and it was incredibly strong and a bit overtuned. We went over extended pickup radius, fixed several issues where deciphering rare patterns at the fabrication machine wouldn't award a cosmetic item. This has been fixed. You can still not get a cosmetic, but that's if you have a copy of it already, so now it would just give you units. This makes it so sometimes you want to get a reward, now you'll get a reward. And then some more exotic changes. Tune some exotic gear to be power level appropriate when earned. That means it's actually going to be at your power level. I think this was just that some exotic gear would just be broken and not drop correctly for you. Improved Mega Hive rewards. We already went over this. So now you get 2 exotics for the Mega Hive reward once you complete the entirety of the Mega Hive. Super good, and more upgrade modules. Players no longer occasionally get power level 1 gear from elite hives. This was again another glitch that I think was also happening with the exotic gear, where you'd randomly get a reward that was power level 1 instead of like 130. Improved exotic gear attributes. So exotic gear should now have higher attributes on them. That's the stats, not the perks. Improved reliability. Have Norn Sun perks that increases drop chance / added extra rewards to loot tables. This is actually pretty nice. This could definitely open up a bunch of possible new farms, because there are minor artifacts to get increased loot from strong boxes, increased loot from bigger robot, have a chance from killing anything to drop extra resources, have a chance from killing I think anything to give extra gear. This might open up some new farm opportunities. That is pretty much all of the patch I want to go over. A lot of really good changes. The game overall, I'm not certain if there was actually any performance increases. I don't think there was. On PC specifically, it feels like I'm getting better performance, and it feels like even some of the spots that I would get some hitching, I don't seem to be getting that anymore. Not certain if that was something, maybe just a side effect of a bunch of bug fixes and stuff like that. Patch overall really good. Again, new content comes out tomorrow. I'll definitely be doing videos going over a lot of the new stuff coming out tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. Subscribe if you want to see more Marvel's Avengers videos. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about this update, and thanks for watching.